Please don't run away. I am... welcome to my natural state of being. So yeah, I am going to be starting off by spraying my face with some face mist because honestly, I don't even know why we do this. Apparently, it's very hydrating towards the skin, and normally all of the beauty gurus use like Max Fix Plus, and I normally use that too. However, I was out of Max Fix Plus, and they just recently upped their prices, so I just settled for the vitamin C energizing face spritz from the Body Shop. So refreshing. Then the next thing I'm going to be doing is I am going to be scrubbing and moisturizing my lips for later on, because my lips are very dry because it's winter at the moment, and winter is a bitch for my lips. So I am using the MAC Summer Berry Lip Scrub. I really like this one. It smells really good, and it just helps to remove all of the dead skin on your lips. And it kind of tastes good too. So yeah, I do that, and then I just kind of eat the rest. And it actually also gives you like a really nice tint to your lips. So you can kind of just go along like this, but because we are going to be using a liquid lipstick, we want our lips to be nice and moisturized. Then on top of that, I'm going to be using this it's a lip therapy lip ice thing. It's got bio oil in it, so it's really more moisturizing for the lips, and it's really nice because it makes your lips feel not like it's dying. So I'm just gonna be putting that all over until we are ready for our lips. Next, I'm gonna be moving on to skin, and everyone who knows me knows I love this product. It is from Too Faced, and it is the Hangover Pore Mineralizer, and it just, you see this happening here, it helps for that, because I just finished a really huge exam at school and I nearly died because of it, but you wouldn't notice it because I've been using this primer, and this primer helps a lot. So yeah, I've been using this primer, and if you see me looking around and not into the lens of the camera, please do understand that it is because I am looking into a mirror to see that the work that I am doing is not a complete and total. Oh, and by the way, if my eyebrows do look a little bit darker, it's because I'm a basic bitch, and I recently had them like yesterday microbladed, so they're already done and like really pretty and like really sculpted. So I'm not gonna be touching them, and I'm gonna be like very careful to work around them because they still hurt like a bitch. It was an experience, so if you want to know how that went, I made like a very tiny vlog for that, so you're welcome to check that out. I'll link it below. The next thing that we are going to be doing is we are going to be applying our foundation, and we are going to be doing it with our beauty blender, and look how clean and beautiful this is. You know, I just really take such good care of my beauty products that they always just look like I just took them out of the package. I promise you, it's been used. I didn't just go out and buy a new beauty blender for this video. I clean mine. I don't use them, you know, just until they don't exist anymore and then go buy new ones. I don't do that. That's not my style. So as you can see, I'm wetting it with the spray, making it nice and moist, because apparently according to the beauty gurus that just kind of helps something. I don't know. And then I'm going to be using my drop foundation from MAC Studio. It is the water weight foundation, and it is really good. Apparently I haven't used it that much because I'm not really into using foundation all that much. So you're just gonna put like a bunch of drops on your face so that it looks like you've got, well, foundation on your face. Let's not be naughty. And then I'm just going to be patting that into my skin, and this might take a while, so I'm just gonna zoop. Okay, so now that I don't look like I belong on the cast of The Walking Dead anymore, we are going to be moving on to concealer, because this is still a problem. Don't ever get old. Like seriously, just don't do it. I'm going to be using the MAC Mineralize Concealer. And if you're wondering why I'm using so much MAC, it's because I actually worked there and I got like a lot of product that I'm still kind of using. So I'm finishing them up and then I'm going cruelty free. So before any of you vegans out there kill me, just know that I'm not going to be wasting the products. I'm going to use them until they're done, and then I am moving on to cruelty free makeup because yeah, that whole issue is not nice and we don't want to do that. So I do apologize, but I don't want to waste the product by not using them and then, you know, innocent animals died for no reason. So yeah, now that we've got that out of the way, so I am basically just making really thick circles underneath my eye because, well, I need it. And I'm doing it in kind of like a triangle form for the only reason because the beauty gurus on YouTube do that. So yeah, I'm also going to be putting some around my mouth because I get discoloration around my mouth because apparently my skin is just like, we're gonna be fun and we're gonna be like 10,000 different colors and not one color at all. So yeah, and then I'm gonna be putting on my forehead and down the bridge of my nose. Also, again, just because I saw beauty gurus do it and I guess that's the way that it was supposed to be. And now I'm going to be using the same beauty blender that I used before and I'm just going to be blending all of that in. So I'm also gonna be just like, okay, now that that looks semi kind of a little bit better, I am going to be going into the contouring part of this tutorial, and I need to emphasize on the fact that I am not really good at contouring at all, but I am trying to learn, so just let me live. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be using these Body Shop's Darkening Drops. You actually use them to darken up your foundation because, you know, like your skin is obviously different colors during summer and winter times. But I actually found out through a very, very amazing beauty guru called Kashal Beauty. I'll link her down below as well. You can use these as a contour and they actually really work, especially if you are pale as a motherfucker. So what I'm going to do is I am going to be putting down small drops where I want the contour to be, which is on the forehead, at my non-existent jawline, and at the area where my neck should be. But it's not because I have a very short round neck and it just doesn't exist there. And then I'm also going to be using some of the products that's left to my nose just to make my nose look a little bit straighter and less, well, you know. Oh, this is always so funny. I'm going to be wetting my beauty blender again because you want that product to really soak up. And then I am just going to be blending in all of the darkened drops that I put. And this might take a while, so again, you see this face? This is the face of defeat because I have no natural bone structure whatsoever. So I got to do that to get the freaking bone structure out. Bitches with their high cheekbones and natural looking stuff pisses me off sometimes, I swear. Okay, and now that most of that is pressed nice into my skin, I'm going to be taking a blending brush and I'm just going to be blending that in even a little bit more because sometimes the beauty blender just doesn't blend it in as much as you would want it to, and there are still some lines and shit. So I'm just gonna be blending that in. Alrighty then, the next thing that I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be setting all of this beautiful contouring and highlighting that I've been doing with another contour and highlighting palette. It's just the difference is this one is powder where this one was liquid, and then the powder apparently sets the liquid, so I'm gonna be doing that. And I don't even know if I'm doing it right, but I'm gonna try, okay? This is a trial and error kind of thing. You don't just get good at makeup like that. You know, I mean, some people do, but you need to practice. And I haven't been doing makeup for very long, so just give me a break. So I'm going to be using this Wet n Wild contour palette, and I'm first gonna be focusing on the darker areas, and I'm just going to be setting that. Freaking hairs. Okay. Okay, and then I will be moving on to the highlighter. No, not the highlighter. The lightening part of the contouring. It's where you lighten up all of the areas that you've lightened with your concealer, just to make them stand out a little bit more from the actual contouring that you did. And I'm going to be using the same palette because it has a lightener and a darkener in one, so it makes it easier. I am really wanting to get the Anastasia Beverly Hills contour kit, both the cream and the powder one, because they just look so amazing. But shipping costs to South Africa are a little bit hectic, so I'm rather just gonna wait until I go back to America again and then just buy it there, because for the price of the shipping you could have bought like 4 of them. Okay, then I am going to be taking a clean-ish brush and then just blend everything in to make sure that there are no harsh lines, nothing looking weirder than, you know, well, than it normally looks. Okay, so this is usually the part where I would have done my brows, but they're already done and they're already perfect, so I'm just gonna skip that part. So the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use this really disgusting little blush palette that I got as a gift from MAC. I can't remember the name of it, but I think it had rose or something in it. And I'm just going to be dotting my cheeks, also lightly, just to add a small amount of color to my cheeks. Because we all know I have these big rounded cheeks, so we want to emphasize them even more. I know my technique is crazy, but this is already starting to look a lot better than the before, so don't judge me too harshly. Okay, so the next thing that I'm going to be doing is my eyeshadow. So I used to have a very nice primer, but it's finished now and I'm not gonna get it again because, as I said, I really want to go on to cruelty free, so I'm using all of the products that I do have that are not cruelty free. I'm going to be stop using them. So what I will be using now again is the Too Faced Hangover Primer. I use this as a primer on my eyes, and then I just lightly dot over my eyes, and then I wait for it to dry, and then when it's dry it actually seals in the eyeshadow. It doesn't crease at all and it really works very well. So I just put like a very small layer of that on there, and then I wait for it to dry, and then I start with my eyeshadow. The thing with my eyes is normally I can just put on some eyeliner and mascara, and then this would basically be my go-to look. I wouldn't even do the liquid contouring and highlighting for my day-to-day look because I'm very lazy when it comes to makeup every day. This is normally like for when I'm going out somewhere or when I'm shooting videos, but like this is normally how I would go. I would just slap on some eyeliner and some mascara, and then I would be done. But because we're doing a video now for my channel today, I decided to go out and do the eyeshadow as well. So yeah. And the nice thing about this primer is it dries really quickly, so it doesn't take long, so you can already start. So I am going to be using 2 palettes today because guys, this is the Too Faced Dark Chocolate Bar eyeshadow palette. This is the best smelling eyeshadow palette I have ever owned in my life. It smells, when you open it, it's just like truffles and chocolate and all the good things in life, and it is so amazing. And I would really recommend getting one of these because they are just, the colors are so buttery and smooth and beautiful, and I love it so much. I love it so much. So what I normally do is I take a small flat brush like this, and I just start by adding like a very neutral toned color like this one, just as to coat the eyes to form like a canvas, you know, like a barrier for the other eyeshadows that you are going to be applying. So I would just do that. Because also I have a lot of pigmentation on my skin, so it just covers all of that as well, and then it gives me a neutral canvas to work on. Because people would sometimes ask me like, what color eyeshadow are you using? And then I'm just like, it's my skin. I'm not even wearing eyeshadow, it's my skin. They are just colorful like that in a very I'm dying kind of way. So yeah, yay pigmentation, I guess. So whenever I do end up doing my eyeshadow, I like to make my eyes like the centerpiece because I feel like I have really nice colored eyes. I've got really big eyes, so I like to emphasize on that. And the colors that work the best for my eyes are purple or brown or like maybe like a little bit of green sometimes, but that's only if I'm feeling funky. So I'm going to be doing like a purplish kind of color, which is in this eyeshadow palette, which is called Anastasia Beverly Hills, the Renaissance palette, and I'm going to be using Love Letter. It's this one over here, which is one of my favorite eyeshadow colors because it's so blendable that you can actually only use this one. You just blend it up and make it lighter as you go. And I really like the brush that they gave along in the palette because it's so fluffy and it is such a nice brush, and it's an application and a blending brush. So I'm just going to be using this, and I'm just going to put Love Letter all over my lid, and then I'm going to be blending it upward. You see, so now it's just kind of blotched onto the eye, and then I'm going to be using the blending part, and I'm just going to be blending that into my crease. So then you can already see the color isn't as hectic anymore at the top as it is at the bottom. So yeah. Now I am just going to be doing the exact same thing to the other eye. The other thing I like about this palette is it is very pigmented, so you do not need a lot of product, because if you use too much product, then it's gonna look crazy. So, ow, stabbed myself in the eye. Ah, woo! What a rush. And again, just gonna be blending this color in until I'm satisfied. So like I said before, I usually don't do this kind of eye every day because it is quite bold. But if I'm feeling funky and I'm feeling in the mood to do something silly, then I really like going for this. But I don't leave it just like this. Usually what I like to do is I like to take a flat tip brush, and then I like to wet it with some spritzer, and then I take a really shimmery color from the same palette. And I think today, because I used the Love Letter, I'm gonna use Primavera, I think is the name. I'm gonna use that, gonna get like a nice application of that, and then I am going to be applying it into the corner of my eye and a little bit on the lid, just to break this dark color a bit. Okay, and so for those who all don't like already know this, the reason why I wet the brush is because it just makes the pigment come out a lot more, so you can actually see the difference on how it kind of just like neutralizes the eye, which I really like, because otherwise this would kind of just look like someone punched me in the face, you know. Then I just take the fluffy brush again, and I just blend at the top here to make sure that the colors are all working together nicely. And then that really harsh look is now softened with the glow. So the next thing that I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be doing liquid liner, but I'm not gonna wing it. Like, I'm not gonna do anything like very dramatic, because honestly I suck at lining my eyes. We've all seen my videos before. I'm not very good at that. I'm still trying to learn. So I'm just going to be doing a small line on each lid and then just going a teensy bit up. But other than that, that is all I'm going to be doing. And depending on how well this goes, I might not show it because I really do suck at this. So if it goes well, I'll show you guys. If not, then we'll just skip to the next one. That actually did not go too horrible. I actually thought it would be a lot worse. Okay, so that actually did not go too horrible. Okay, now next up is eyeliner. An actual eyeliner. I'm just going to be putting that underneath my lid and then a teensy bit on the side, just to make the eyes pop a little bit more. And that is it. Now I am just going to curl my lashes. I've been thinking about like getting eyelash extensions, but the idea of someone like digging into my eyes is so incredibly scary that I'm not sure if I'm feeling it, you know. I do this quite a bit to make the lashes curl. And then once you've curled them, you just go in with your mascara and you just mascara them. I don't know. Mascara them. I don't know what you call that. Okay, then we just curl the other one. Ugh. And that is it for the eyes, ladies and gentlemen. I do not put mascara on my bottom eyelashes because I always end up messing it up, and it never works out for me. So I'm not gonna do that because I can't deal with that. Next thing, I'm gonna go on to my lip. Okay, so I don't really enjoy liquid liners that much because I don't know. I've never been in that trend, but I do have the Dulce K from Kylie Cosmetics here, so I'm just gonna be lining my upper lip with that and a little bit of my lower lip, because I feel like my lower lip is fine. It's just my upper lip that's a little bit, you know, it's very tiny compared to my lower lip. So I just usually like doing the upper lip so that it can match the lower lip. So Now it looks like I have no lips. But I am going to be using a different color shade towards the Dulce K, because I do find that the Dulce K is a little bit not for my complexion. It just kind of makes my lips disappear, as you can see, but it was the only lip liner I had on hand now. So what I'm going to be using is the NYX Lingerie liquid lipstick in Lippy number 8. And I really like this color because it's like a very nice flesh toned peachy kind of color, which is very nice. Because like I said earlier, I do like to keep my eyes like the focus point of my makeup when I do my makeup. So I use a very neutral lip color for that. And then last but not least, my favorite part, the highlighter. Oh, I love using highlighters. And especially this one is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Glow Kit in Sweets. And it is amazing. I love this palette. And I really like the color Butterscotch. This is my favorite personal color. So what I also do is I spray my brush. It's an angled brush. I know you're not supposed to use an angled brush for that one, but I like the angled brush because then I can actually control where I put the product instead of just blobbing everything. So I'm going to be taking a wee bit of Butterscotch, and then I am just going to do my highlight. So what I like to do is I like to make like a C around my eyebrow area and around my like the top of my cheek, like a C like that, and then down the bridge of my nose, just to give it that little bit of an extra shine whenever you hit the light. And then also, now that my lips have dried, just to emphasize the arch a little bit. So there you guys go. This is the complete look that I have done for today's makeup tutorial, and I really hope you guys enjoyed watching this and hearing my chatty commentary. I'm sorry about that. I'm not really sure how to do the voiceover thing yet, so I'm trying that. But if you guys enjoyed this video, please do give it a thumbs up. Comment down below telling me what other looks I should try, or if I should never do this again like ever. And now cueing the very corny showing off of your makeup look like all the beauty gurus do. Also, do remember to subscribe if you haven't already, and thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next video. Okay, bye!